Welcome back to 5 Talk Street. I'm Vince Sims. NBC 5, Telemundo 39, and the Comcast NBC Universal Foundation funded a total of $315,000 in grants through our Project Innovation Grant Program to 11 local organizations that are doing extraordinary work. Our goal is to strengthen our communities through innovative solutions. One program doing just that is the Youth First Suicide Prevention Initiative at Resource Center in Dallas, which received a $10,000 grant. Here to tell us all about Resource Center and the program is Al Johnson. They are the Community Programs Manager at Resource Center. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's first start off talking about what is the Resource Center.
So Resource Center is the primary LGBTQ and HIV service organization in North Texas. Starting out originally as just an advocacy agency, Resource Center has grown tremendously in the past 38 years. And we're now serving the LGBTQ and HIV community through 3 main objectives, and that's improving health, transformative advocacy, and strengthening communities. Each one of those 3 goals has a whole supportive structure of programs and services that are strategically designed to meet those goals in order to meet the needs of these communities.
So as you work to meet those needs, what are some of the programs that you offer there and services?
So that's a big question. So my role at Resource Center is the Community Programs Manager, which means that I specifically oversee the programs that fall under the Strengthening Communities umbrella. And then the community program side of things, we have Youth First, Women with Pride, and Thrive, which meet the needs of LGBTQ youth ages 12 through 18. Thrive is for LGBTQ older adults ages 50 plus, and Women with Pride for LGBTQ women ages 18 and up. But there's a whole bunch more of programs and services at Resource Center that I'm happy to dive into throughout our conversation.
Okay, all right. And as you were talking about, you were mentioning the one Thrive there. And is that one that helps with, because as we've gone through the pandemic, there's been a lot of isolation. So I know there's Thrive, something that kind of addresses some of that?
Absolutely. So all of our community programs are specifically designed to meet the need to combat social isolation. So for Thrive specifically, which, like I said, serves LGBTQ adults ages 50 plus, we combat social isolation through our supportive programs, so a weekly support group, but also through social programs. So we have currently, during the pandemic, we have outdoor safe events. We have our annual spring party, our monthly lunches and mixers. They bring together LGBTQ older adults to specifically help tie together the community and combat that problem, like we mentioned, of social isolation. We also have our Youth First program, which brings together LGBTQ youth ages 12 through 18. And we do that through both supportive and social programming. So some of these pictures that you're seeing are social events, get together the youth to help them make positive peer connections, to engage in activities that they might not feel safe or supported doing in traditional programming due to a lack of support for their sexual orientation or gender identity. So definitely combating social isolation, especially during this time where we've all been so separate, is a main goal of our community programs at Resource Center.
Al, let's talk about, you received the Project Innovation Grant from Comcast NBC Universal Foundation for the $10,000 supporting the Youth First Suicide Prevention Initiative. Talk to us a little bit about what that initiative is and how important it is to the youth.
Absolutely. So first of all, we're so grateful for the support of NBC5. So thank you so much for the support of our Youth First program. Youth First has a full range of supportive programs within the umbrella of our youth initiative. And that includes things like Gender Identity Night, our Queer Youth of Color group, but also our Suicide Prevention group. So our Suicide Prevention Support Group is run by trained staff and community mentors. It gives youth a safe space to talk about anxiety, depression, self-harming behaviors, but also a place to develop healthy coping skills, which is incredibly important for LGBTQ teenagers. And not only is our suicide prevention group specifically tackling this issue, but all of our programs and services within the Youth First umbrella are strategically designed to meet 3 objectives. So to reduce social isolation in LGBTQ teens, to increase their self-esteem, and to decrease their at-risk behaviors. So all of our programs, whether it's our Pride Ball Prom or our Empowering Camping Retreat, or down to our support groups are all designed to meet and combat suicidal ideation and depression and just mental unwellness within the LGBTQ community who really need it, especially in the North Texas area. So we're really proud of that. And we also support the youth through supporting their parents. So by supporting parents of LGBTQ youth, we're able to help make sure that the youth are safe not only at Resource Center, but within their own homes.
I was going to ask you about that because we're talking a lot about the youth, but it's important that you support the parents as well, and you have resources for parents.
Absolutely. So it's important to note that in order to get involved as a youth at Resource Center, we do not require parental permission or involvement, and that's important because not all LGBTQ youth in our area have that supportive home environment to help get them involved. But as you just mentioned, engaging the parents is one of the most impactful ways to support LGBTQ youth in our community. And so Resource Center has partnered with Children's Health to create a really dynamic support group for parents of transgender and gender diverse youth. And not only do we have this engaging ongoing support group, we also offer opportunities for parents to come to the center, to meet the staff, and to engage in dinners and other social activities with other parents of LGBTQ youth to make those positive peer connections with parents who get it, who are going through the same thing and can help answer their questions peer to peer.
Okay.
And not only is youth
I was just going to say, just go ahead and give us the website. If people want to find out more information about the Resource Center, give us that, how they find out more information.
So you can find out information about all of our programs and services at myresourcecenter.org. And you can also follow us on social media at My Resource Center, center being spelled CTR.
All right, Al, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.